Hello everyone. Good morning.
Hi.
I just wanted to call a quick meeting before we start today's service. So let me just make sure everyone's here. Yep. Oh, Amberly, remind me after this meeting to give you that second uniform. All right. So it looks like we've got everyone here. So it came to my attention last week that we're having a little bit of an issue with temperature control and the way that the temperatures are being logged. So the assistant manager came to me with this concern. They noticed that certain days, sometimes temperatures would be missed, and we were ending up in the danger zone with our fridges. So we just need to kind of review that. I have a new policy that we're going to talk about and make sure that everything's being kept up to par. So you're all aware of the temperature logbook?
Yes.
Smiling
Yes.
faces. So this is usually kept above the prep station. You also, I hope, know that. Yeah. Okay, great. I won't ask here, but if anyone doesn't know about the logbook or isn't familiar with how to record the temperatures or anything, just find me after the meeting. Let me know.
We will.
Yes. Just want to make sure all temperatures are recorded properly in here. So. So for those of you who have been here for over a year, I know there are a few of you, you know that we haven't really been up to par with our annual training. I know you probably got trained, well you did get trained when you started here, but that's also something that we're going to cover in today's policy as well. Okay. So I'll just pass around a copy of the policy and that way you can follow along with me here. Angie. Thank you. Great. So as you know, our beloved head office manager, Jane, as you can see on the policy, has approved it, which means it is now effective immediately. So today's service, we're getting right into the policy, all right? So the purpose of this policy is to maintain the safety of the customers and the consumers, which will minimize the risk of illness. So while this is, mainly for the customers, you guys are also eating our food pretty often, you get a good discount. So we want to make sure that our staff are kept healthy as well. So this is for everyone. So a few things that are going to be put into effect. So the first one, as you can see on the policy there, implementing annual staff training. So a year from your first initial training session, you will get, from your hire date, you'll get another training session. So if you've been here for over a year, we will set up something this week to make sure that you get fresh on your knowledge. Second, if you do have any questions regarding this training or you felt like your first hire training was not sufficient enough, make sure that you chat with me. I want to know if you didn't really understand the danger zone or you didn't understand how to read thermometers or anything like that. So I really, really urge you to chat with me after this meeting and send me an email just so that we know for future training and for the safety of the customers that these standards do need to be met. Third, we will now be implementing a not-for-sale food item, so you can check the temperatures more accurately. So while we will be recording temperatures in the actual fridges, this food will be marked as not for sale and allow you to insert the thermometer right into the food to ensure the best practices. So we are going to be using, I'll just grab this here, a bimetallic thermometer to do this. This is probably you all have seen this before. So we're going to stick it right into the not-for-sale food and ensure nothing's in the danger zone. Yes,
Question.
Angie.
I don't know how to read the thermometer.
Great, that's a good question because they are all different. Digital reads are obviously going to be a little bit easier. So that's the one that shows the number right up for you. Here, yeah. Thank you, Amber. Yeah, so you're probably familiar with these ones a little bit more than these ones. So these ones have digital reading on them. This one is a needle. So I'll just go over it quickly here. These are going to be calibrated. I will make sure that they are calibrated between 1 and 2 degrees. So essentially, put it into the food. We're going to wait 15 seconds. We're going to stick it into the thickest part of the food and right into the middle. So you're not going to want to touch the tray around the food or just do a tip kind of thing. You're going to want to stick it right into the thickest part of the food. And then we're going to take a look at this dial. This one's in Fahrenheit, so you'll make sure that the temperature is recorded in Fahrenheit. It does make a difference. Celsius and Fahrenheit are not the same. So we're going to do that, and you just read the temperature given, and then record it into the logbook.
So do we have a specific temperature are we reading it in Celsius or Fahrenheit? What would you prefer us to do?
It doesn't really matter to me because in the end, as long as you're recording that it's Fahrenheit or Celsius, I can, and you'll be familiar after the training too with the temperature danger zones in Celsius or in Fahrenheit, just so that you know. Because some of these thermometers don't have Celsius and Fahrenheit if they're a little like this. So yeah, doesn't matter as long as you're recording the units of temperature. All right, makes sense? Yeah?
Yes.
All right, good. So the biggest change that we're making here is that we are recording fridge temperatures every 2 hours. So I know in the past it was just upon opening and closing, but we are now focusing on every 2 hours because if food is in the danger zone for more than that, it's a danger to our consumers. So the thermometers will be either in the prep fridges or built into the storage fridge. You know where to find those. And then we also will have our thermometer for the not for sale food as well. If you are finding any food in the temperature danger zone between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius, throw it out. As Jane always says on her visits, when in doubt, throw it out. So we want to make sure that there's no food left in the danger zone for sale. And next, if you are discarding a food item, we do have the food waste log as well. It's in the back of the temperature log. I don't know if some of you knew that because it's not recorded very often. So one thing we're going to try and do is implement the food waste log.
Yeah, I was never trained.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes, because it's in the back of the book, sometimes it gets missed and people didn't know about it. So that will be one thing that we're going to talk about in training as well. So I want it recorded because we need to know how often this is happening. You know, if it's every Thursday that somehow mystery food's being thrown out and Angie's always working on Thursdays, you know. It could be her lunch, we don't know. So we want to make sure that we are recording it. And also, you know, so I can see maybe the chicken sandwich is never, ever cold enough, you know, something we can think about. Lastly, something I need from you folks is communication. So I need communication on how the fridges are running. I know it's boring. I know you might not care as much as me, but I'm not here 24/7, and if something goes amiss, I need to know. This can ensure that our refrigerators are kept in working condition, and if not, I can place a service call to get it fixed. It's not up to you guys to call, it's up to me. I just need information that the fridges aren't working properly. And please, please, please don't assume that your coworker will do it. That happens a lot. Please don't assume that your coworker will do it. Communicate with me, all right? So that's essentially it for our policy. The outcome, as you can see, is just to ensure that, you know, the safety of our customers, and we're not passing on foodborne illnesses. We don't need to be in the news for bad reasons. You know, we want to be in the news for the best food. So if you have any questions about anything I just talked about, please don't hesitate to ask. I know that was a lot of information. All of it will be posted in the policy binder in my office, so if you do need to review it, feel free to come in anytime. The biggest thing that I need you all to remember is monitoring and recording every 2 hours and throwing out food that is in the danger zone. Those are the two most important things. They need to be done. There's no leeway. We're implementing this effective immediately. This is something that we have struggled with, so these things do need to be done. So,
how long are you going to keep this food record?
We're going to keep them for 6 months, so please don't throw out a sheet. Yeah, that's actually a good question. If you finish a temperature log sheet and the sheet's all filled out, don't throw it out. Keep it in the binder. I will be responsible for taking them out and storing them properly.
Are you weighing the what is that? Discarding food before you put it in the waste bin?
Are we, sorry, what was the
What do
question?
you call it?
The garbage.
How many kilos or what weight?
Discard?
Before discard? Because my place they weigh.
No, I think we already have a waste log book, you see.
Yes,
correct?
yeah,
So
you have
so-
yeah, the log in the
so
back of the
what
book.
you work with is that logbook.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes, there's log.
That's how,
Yeah.
that's
Log
how,
it and throw
that's
it
how
out.
waste is going to
The first thing I want you to do is throw it out because I don't want that to be put on the counter and then maybe
No.
mess it up and put it back in the fridge because someone didn't know. First thing, throw it out, then you're gonna log it. Okay? So I think that's all I have for today. Everyone, have a great shift. Thank you.
Thank you.